Okay, now we're going to go into XV8 crisis teams, specifically the elite unit. Now, as you all know, if being new to 40k and you've looked through the rulebook, you will notice that you can take up to 3 elite slots. If you're going to play Tau, I suggest leaving one of these slots open for at least one of these units. I say this because the XV8 Crisis Battlesuit team is probably the most pivotal unit you're going to be taking. One XV8 Crisis Battlesuit team can decide victory or defeat. I know this because of all the games I've played. My Crisis teams have always managed to help me pull off some sort of win, or at least get me to a draw, if things looked really bad. Now, I'm going to first talk about the first 3 configurations. Because if you watched my last video on XV8 Crisis suits in general, I've already pretty much explained what they can do. So, the first configuration I'm going to go over is Helios. I'm starting with Helios as more of a response to Adam's video about Wraithguard, of how to beat them, more or less. The Helios has the weaponry that you need to take on those kind of targets. The Helios has 2 weapons that it carries, because these suits are named for the weapons, not the support systems. The Helios comes with the plasma rifle, which is a rapid-fire weapon that's strength 6 AP 2, and it really helps in a pinch. And the second weapon it carries is the fusion blaster, which is a strength 8 AP 1 Melta assault 1 weapon. Excuse me. As you can see, it can handle it can handle light vehicles, even some heavy vehicles, but the main targets it's designed for is stuff like Terminators and Space Marines and other things that have a decent toughness and have really heavy armor. This gets past anything that you can throw out there. So, which is why I say I respond with Wraithguard, because Wraithguard are a very tough, hardy unit that a Helios team, not just one suit, a team of them, can handle together. Now, typically, to make this team viable, there's one support system, and it's going to be common for almost all the teams. It is the multi-tracker. The multi-tracker upgrade allows the battlesuit pilot to fire 2 weapons in a turn, rather than just 1. This becomes very important. The other way you could handle this would probably be basing on what you want to fire, which weapon at what. If you wanted to slightly reduce firepower, but you wanted to make them more accurate, you could take the targeting array, which ups their ballistic skill by 1. You always want to at least take one of the suits and upgrade them to a team leader. The team leader is able to take the hardwired systems. This way you could have him take at least a hardwired drone controller and take a couple of drones to have some ablative wounds and to help soak up some fire, plus add a little extra firepower if you take gun drones. And that's really about it for the Helios suit. It's primarily designed for heavy infantry, but it can handle vehicles too. The next one is one of my personal favorites as of late, is the Death Rain. The Death Rain is different in the sense that it's a twin-link configuration. The Death Rain carries a twin-linked missile pod, and that is its only weapon, and it typically will take... It really depends on what kind of systems you want. I've seen one type of team is run of Death Rains that's pretty much all 3 suits have drone controllers and a pair of drones. Gun drones specifically, to have ablative wounds and give a little extra anti-infantry firepower. Another one I've seen was giving them just burst cannons rather than a support system. And then having the team leader with the hardwired drone controller, etc., etc. It is an anti-medium / light vehicle killer. The twin link makes them much more accurate than the other configurations. That's what twin link is good for. It gives you more accuracy. So with a team of 3 of them, you're getting 6 missile pod shots, which is strength 7 AP4. So essentially you got an autocannon. It's got the 36-inch range, which is a nice threat range when it comes to taking out enemy vehicles. It is my suggested suit when fighting Eldar in general, because having a weapon that goes more than strength 8 is pretty useless when fighting Eldar vehicles, and that's all you really need. So missile pods have always been doing good for me in that case. The final configuration I want to cover is the Fire Knife team for this video. The Fire Knife suit is plasma rifle missile pod. This makes for a very well-rounded suit. It can handle light and medium infantry and light vehicles in equal fervor, and typically also carries the multi-tracker to allow it to fire at both. The only drawback to this is that both weapons have completely different ranges, so you're going to probably only be firing your missile pod most of the time until you do finally get close enough to fire your plasma rifle, which by that point your enemy is pretty much already too close for comfort. But once you get within rapid fire range, that's 4 shots that you're pumping at the enemy, 2 strength 6 AP2 and 2 strength 7 AP4 shots into the enemy. Now, the reason I've known that this isn't the best choice, and one you should try to avoid unless you have the points to spend, is because of its well-roundedness. It's not specifically geared to any specific type of enemy. You can have it go vehicle hunting, and you can have it go infantry hunting, and you can have it go heavy infantry hunting. So it's probably the best well-rounded suit you could pick. I mean, there are other ones out there, but that one's probably the best. And if you're going to go for a well-rounded team of battlesuits, I would go with a team of Fire Knives any day. So that's this video. I will go over 3 other types in the next one. Yeah.